Good evening, my name is Tony Jones, and you are tuned in to the Coalition, where we discuss all sides of local, regional, and national news, politics, and current events. Online at coalitionradio.us, on Facebook, facebook.com/The Coalition Radio, and check in with me on Twitter via coalition_radio. We are nice and cozy in our tiny water closet studio this evening. It's a packed house. P.O. Taxpayer, good evening.
Hey now. Could I pause a moment for a moment of silence? Born of the loins of the Liberty Movement, brought to fire by the Great Depression of 2008. Let us observe a moment of silence for the Tea Party. DOA, March 2014. Oh, well, that's enough.
It's hard for me to heck did Doreen Costa wind up as the vice chair of Judiciary? Why were Mattiello and DeSimone in the Woonsocket City Hall in Harris Hall talking to former Representative Lisa Baldelli Hunt? And then what I would assume is our Woonsocket delegation. What I found out later was Mattiello and DeSimone were out of Woonsocket before Casey and Moran even showed up to City Hall. So what kind of deal was made there? So, the old saying is what? Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Interesting points, no doubt, and especially the first point that you made.
We've seen, of course, Mike Marcello is sure to not be the House Oversight Committee anymore, and I know Russ, has a particular bone to pick with the Oversight Committee as a rather toothless committee.
I have a bone to pick with him, not with the way he handled it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of disingenuous to say, when I'm Speaker, we're going to investigate 38 studios. Wait a minute, Representative Marcello. You have been chairman of the Oversight Committee for the past 2 years, and you have done nothing on 38 studios. Now you want guys like Dave Fisher to rally behind you like you're going to do something about it when you've shown no evidence that you have any propensity to do that.
So I think that this is a big misconception about how the committees work at the State House. Committee chairs, they wield some amount of power, but the majority of that power is in the Speaker's hands, and he pretty much says what comes out of committee and what doesn't. It's how it works in our State House, and from the many off the record conversations I've had, not only with progressive Democrats, with moderate Democrats who are fighting to get their bills on, with even members of the the uber minority Republican Party in our House, are very, very frustrated with trying to build that momentum, and a lot of times even when they do build the momentum, it gets shut down. It never comes to the floor, or it comes to the floor and then the Speaker immediately says, we're going to return this to committee.
By the way, let me just interject for a moment. When you talk about uber small Republican minority, as far as the PO taxpayer is concerned, Patricia Morgan is now the party of one. She is the only individual who stood her ground, and I know that's a sensitive term in the liberal world these days, but she stood her ground and committed what some may agree as an act of political suicide. I firmly believe, and I don't know her well, I've never met her, but I firmly believe was an act of conscience.
I have to agree. First of all, because when the Speaker Pro Tem moved from nominations to the voting process, completely skipping over any kind of discussion, I think somebody in that room should have had the point to say, "Madam, point of order. We need to have discussion on this," and that didn't happen.
Why didn't she do it though?
Well, she's been around for years.
She actually tried to. She has.
She tried. Excuse me. She tried to do it. She tried to when she cast her vote.
Yeah, but that wasn't the right time.
Right, but I think we all know from the Dirty Dan Connor days, all right, when he moved away from E-Verify using a parliamentary move, it's a good way to seemingly get escorted out of the room. Ask our friend Dan Badandi. Did both of you, first Dave, did the collective might of the progressive, green, liberal democratic movement, near obsession with social issues, ultimately proved to be part of its undoing. That their ignorance, if you will, of the king of all Democrats, Bill Clinton's messianic message, it's the economy, stupid. Them completely ignoring that. Did that help in their demise?
Well, first of all, I don't think that they ignore it. I think the problem is typically in political discussions, things are framed as siloed items. You know, the economy's over here, social justice is over here, environmental issues are over here. I think what the progressives are stronger at than most of the moderates or many of the Republicans is understanding that all of those things are intrinsically linked. And certainly, you know, again, I'm here, I guess, the